guys, welcome back. I'm Caitlin, and today we're going to talk about the benefits of having a minimal wardrobe for your kids. Now, about a year ago, I really got on a decluttering kick for our whole entire house. We just, it was 2020. My husband had been working from home. I was pregnant with my fourth baby. We homeschool. It just felt like we had way too much stuff, which we do because the typical American family does. But I really got started decluttering and trying to minimize a lot of the stuff in our life. And in that process, we have worked on our wardrobes. Now, we are by no means a minimalist family. I mean, like by definition, what most people consider minimal, we're not. But I have been doing a minimal wardrobe with my kids. This will be our second season doing it very intentionally. We did it in the spring and summer, and then we're getting ready for fall and winter. And I've been working on their wardrobes this week. And as I've been doing that, I've been thinking like how thankful I am I've done this and like how great it's been and all of these benefits. And so I wanted to make a video and share that with you. So today's video is not going to be what their minimal wardrobe looks like or how many pairs of pants and how many shirts and how it actually works. I'm going to do that in a separate video once I have their fall and winter stuff done because it's still very summerish here where we live, and so I'm just now working on it. Once that's done, I will do a separate video for you guys so you can see it in action. But today I just wanted to share the benefits for you so that you can kind of see like why I'm so thankful I've been doing this. So like I said, last season was the first seasonal clothing change where I really intentionally sat down and tried to decide exactly how many of each different clothing category we wanted to have and like made it a very specific plan. And so this is the second time we're doing it, but it has been wonderful. So I have 4 children and we have been incredibly blessed with lots of hand-me-downs, especially with my 2 boys. We had several different families who had boys who handed down everything that they had to us. And I am so very thankful 100% that they gave us that. It saved us tons of money. However, it was also so much. It was so much to manage. It was so much to store when they outgrew things. And for a long time, it was just like drowning in clothes. And so it has taken me a long time to kind of figure out how that we don't have to keep every single thing that someone gives us, that we get from hand-me-downs, that kind of stuff. So anyway, I'm not going to go into the whole mindset behind the minimalism and how it works. I just want to share the benefits, and we'll do some other videos about it later, or maybe I'll make it a little mini series or something. But it has been amazing. I'm so thankful that we've switched to this method, or whatever you want to call it, for multiple reasons. So the first reason, and this is the biggest reason, is it has cut down on the laundry. Laundry is the worst. If you're watching this video, you are probably a mom, and there's just so much of it. It never ends, right? And so we actually do laundry more often now because we have less clothes. However, it's so much more manageable because we only have a handful of each category of clothes. So we can't let it pile up for weeks and weeks. Otherwise, we'd have no clothes to wear. So we just stay very on top of the laundry. And so we just run a load every couple of days. And then the kids, once it's dry, they put it away. And it is just really, really nice to not have piles of laundry sitting out everywhere. The second benefit is that obviously it saves money. If you're not buying as much stuff for your kids, then you're not having to spend as much money on the clothes. So that is really, really nice to save money. When you have 4 kids, it can really add up when you're having to buy clothes for them. The third benefit is that it has caused me to become very specific on what I like for the kids. So at this point, I'm still purchasing all of their clothes. They don't have a lot of opinion about it. My kids are 7, 5, 2, and then we have a baby, obviously. And so sometimes the boys will have a style of sweatpants that they prefer better, or, a pair of shorts they prefer better. But past that, they really don't care what they wear. And so for right now, I'm still the one picking. And so being minimal with their clothes has really caused me to decide, if we're only going to have, let's say, 5 dresses for my daughter, I want them to be 5 dresses that I really like, not just like 15 okay dresses, right? And so when I'm shopping, whether it's at a consignment sale or whether it's, on online stores, or even when people give us hand-me-downs and I'm going through it to try to decide what to keep and what to pass on to somebody else, it has really helped me whenever I can only pick a certain number of items to figure out what is it that I really like, and just, focus in on those things and want to get a few items that I really like versus tons of items that are maybe not really my style. And that's been very interesting over those last couple of half a year or so that we've been doing this, because up till now, like we got lots of hand-me-downs, and I shopped lots of consignment stores, and here and there would buy, a couple of new to us items, but it was kind of like a hodgepodge of everyone else's style and not so much what I really wanted to dress my kids in. And I mean, there's nothing wrong with that. They don't care. The kids don't care. And really the rest of the world doesn't care. Nobody's really watching so much what your kids wear, but it's just been nice for me to like really define my style. And then that leads me into number 4, which is that it's easier to shop because number 1, I need less pieces. Number 2, I have a list of what exactly I need. So when I go into a store or get online to buy stuff, I'm not just like scrolling through every single kid item that every single store sells, because I know, okay, I need a pair of jeans and pajamas for this kid, and I need 2 dress shirts for this one. Like I have much more of an idea of what I need. And then because I know my style now and like kind of how I like to dress my children, I'm able to like not spend time at this store that has like totally separate types of clothing that is not really my jam, and not wander aimlessly through the sections in the store where I'm not going to buy that stuff. Like I'm more focused, I guess, and just makes it easier to shop, which is awesome. All right, and then number 5 is actually a combination of numbers 2, 3, and 4. And that is the fact that because I am not spending as much money overall, and because I know what it is that I like, I am able to spend a little bit more money per item to purchase items that are high quality, items that are things that I actually like, and items that support a small business. And so that has been really nice, because in the past, maybe I would want to shop at consignments, and I still shop at consignments. Like, let me be clear on that. I still try to be a good steward with my money, and just shopped at a consignment sale this week as we're getting ready for stuff. But I also have a little bit more wiggle room in my budget to also try to buy some pieces that are from a small business, to support small business owners, that are going to be really good quality, that are, things that I like. Like, for example, with Christmas coming up, I like to get my kids matching Christmas clothes. And so I will be able to, buy them cute little outfits that are, the style that I prefer, and hopefully from a small business to support them, because I haven't spent hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of excess dollars on clothes that we don't need, because we are keeping things small and minimal. So that has been great. It makes me feel better about where my money is going, because I feel like, I'm just making better decisions with how I'm using my money. So I really, really have liked that. Another benefit is just that it takes up less room in our house. We don't need as much closet space, which is good, because we have not much closet space in our house. That's one of the downsides to this house that we live in. The closets are very small and there are not very many of them. And same with, dresser space. It doesn't take up a ton of room because there's just not as much. We used to have closets that were stuffed full of clothes, and now I'm very easily able to store everybody's clothes in the closets and room to spare, which is really great. Number 7 is that there's less stuff to store in the attic for like future children or in between sizes. So my oldest 2 are boys, they're 2 years apart. So the oldest will wear some, and then it gets stored for about a year, and then the next one will wear it. And we don't know if we're done having kids or not. So I do still store not everyone's clothes not all the clothes, but I do still keep some things in case we have future babies down the road. And so having less things in general means there's less to store. And also, kind of like an odd benefit along those lines is that because we have less clothes, they wear out their clothes. Not so much like their dress clothes that just get worn to church, but like their everyday play clothes. By the end of the season, we have worn and washed them so many times, and they've, got dirt on them and paint and all that stuff. They are pretty worn out. And so those, I'm just able to go ahead and donate them or even trash them if they're that bad. They're usually donatable. But, and I don't feel bad about it because I feel like we've gotten our money's worth out of those clothes. I don't have to hang on to them and store them for later. And so that frees up space in my attic. That's really good too, because before I started this decluttering process, the amount of tubs of clothes in my attic was so overwhelming because I kept everything, even things that my kids didn't wear, but that people had passed down to us. I just kept everything. And during this whole process, I was like, I'm going to go through these tubs of clothes. And I was able to cut them in half, or maybe even like we got rid of more than half of the clothes that were in the attic. And it just was wonderful because not only is it less that I need to keep, it also really helped me realize that like we are never going to use all these clothes. It's way too much for one family to need. I'm able to pass that on to another family and help them out and bless them. And so I took trash bags of stuff to other people at church who have kids just a little bit younger than ours, and pass that on. And it was wonderful. Like, it just felt great to just be like, I don't have to hold on to all this stuff. It doesn't benefit me. I can actually benefit somebody else by passing on. So that was great too. Benefit number 8 is that it is easier for my kids to put their clothes away. Their drawers are not stuffed full. Used to, they'd pull open the drawer and it was just like crammed full t-shirts, shorts, pajamas, whatever. And really they only used what was on like the top layer. So they would, use whatever was on the top layer, and then we'd do laundry, and then they would just shove it back in. So like the majority of the stuff in the drawers were not getting worn. And then putting stuff away, they were just like cramming it in there, and it was just kind of a mess. And now the clothes fit nicely in the drawers. There's plenty of space. And so they are very easily able to sort their laundry and put it in the drawers, and done. It just takes them a couple of minutes. The 9th benefit is that it's easier for me, as the person who picks out their clothes the majority of the time, easier for me to decide what to have them wear. So, my kids pick out their own, they call them morning clothes because they put them on in the morning after they change out of their pajamas. I grew up calling them play clothes, just clothes that you can wear around the house, so you can get dirty and wear in the yard, whatever. And then I usually pick out their clothes if we're going to church or to, our homeschool stuff, or, if we're going out somewhere, I usually pick that stuff out. So anyway, that just makes it so much easier for me because there's only a handful of things. And so I just kind of rotate through them. And it's not so like I don't have so many choices. It's just easier to pick when you have less choices, which is wonderful. I love it. And the final benefit is that doing this, switching to a minimal wardrobe, has really caused me to realize that most people do not pay attention to what your kids are or are not wearing. I guess I always maybe like subconsciously in the back of my mind felt like, oh, we can't repeat an outfit because, we wore this to church last week, that kind of stuff. And through doing this, it's kind of, like makes me more aware of what we're wearing, of just, wardrobes in general. And I just realized nobody notices. The other day, we were getting ready for church, and my husband got a shirt out of the closet, and he was like, did I wear this one last week? And I was like, I don't know. And he was like, well, if you don't even know, nobody at church is going to know or care. And so, and I mean, even if you wanted to repeat it on purpose, it doesn't matter. But what I'm saying is, like, people just really, unless they're like really obsessed with your family for some weird reason, they don't notice or care that your kids are wearing the same things over and over again. And that was very freeing, because I feel like in this day and age of Instagram and all sorts of social media, especially Instagram, where, these kids are always in these adorable matching outfits, and it looks like they have these huge wardrobes, and maybe they do, because a lot of people are big shoppers. It makes us feel like, oh, my kids, we can't repeat outfits. We have to have, like a ton of options, and, like make it Instagram worthy and all that stuff. I'm like, honestly, no, people don't care. People don't notice. Even if they did care, it doesn't matter. But not so much whether they care or not, but just like the whole fact that most people would never even be able to tell you that your kids, like they would never notice that your kids are repeating outfits. So it's like, who are we doing this for anyway, right? So that has been just a good reminder to me, or learning experience to me, that we don't need to do things like spend a ton of our money to clothe our kids just because we're trying to put on a front to like impress other people, because we shouldn't try to do that anyway, but like they're not going to notice anyway. So that has been good too. So yeah, I love it. I love having a minimal wardrobe for my kids. It's just so much easier on me. And so as we're going into our second season doing this, in the fall and the winter, I'm excited. I'm ready to okay, we had a local consignment sale earlier this week. I wanted to go to that first and see what I could find there. And then once I had found that, mostly I was able to get dresses for my daughter. They didn't really have a couple shirts for the boys. But anyway, once I did that, then I was ready to look at what we have in the attic from the older kids and say, okay, here's what we need, and then order a few other pieces from other places, or make sure their shoes fit, that kind of stuff. But it just kind of gives me like a template of what I need to get, and it's just so much easier. So anyway, like I said, I'll share that kind of stuff in a later video, but I just wanted to share some of the benefits. So if you've been like, oh yeah, minimal wardrobe, that sounds interesting, maybe sharing why I like it so much makes you want to kind of look into a little bit for yourself and for your kids. So anyway, that is all. Have a great day, guys. Bye.